Alrighty, folks. We are live here from Evergreen Speedway for the Sigma ARCA Series number 13th race on the season. And I do have a little bit of help in the booth here tonight, throwing it on over to James.
Hey, y'all. Happy to be here.
And we're going to have some storylines to follow throughout the night here. These drivers have had a 6 to 7 week break, and I feel like they're raring and ready to go, James.
Oh, yeah. 7 weeks? Yeah. They're ready to go.
Most series and stuff, especially like NASCAR, taking 2 weeks off for the Olympics seems like a lifetime. These 7 weeks off have been a long stretch for these guys, and I think we're going to see a great race here at Evergreen tonight. And so on the front row, we've got Ralph Oberstadt with Casey, or is it I'm going to have to remember names, Chris K. Green. Behind them, you've got the LFG Motorsports teammates. You can tell very simply by the number font, 18 and 19 there, of Trevor Vaden and Wyatt Wilkinson. Then Joao Vitor and Casey Klein. Mark Shelton and Chase Kovacic. James Gunner and Finley Herwig. Jonah Burridge and Ace Blake. Joseph Hayes, who we just saw come off winning 2 months ago at this point, with Evan Snake. And this next row, if the game, you might have something to give us a little bit of an insight on the 79, James.
Yeah, the 79 tonight is Taylor Cording, the younger sister of the Cording brothers, making her first appearance here in the Sigma ARCA series. She spent the majority of the year in the Sigma Modified Tour. She's been just a little bit too young to come run ARCA, because, got to be 16, come over here and run ARCA. She, luckily, with that 7-week break, became 17 and 16 and was eligible to come run some part-time work to finish out the year. So hopefully she'll be able to do something.
It's going to be interesting to see what she does. Do disregard the name on the windshield is Alan Chavot, no longer with the series, but it's going to be Taylor Cording there in the 79, starting alongside Joe Hill in the 14. Heck, even Joe Hill on his way out through the series as well. You got Bailey Parker, Jaden Anderson, Skylar Taylor, Sophie Harwick, and the rest of the field in the lineup here as we get settled in for 169 laps here at Evergreen. Perfect timing as we get the green, well, not green flag, but the 21.
Oh no. You may want to throw the, because they'll still, actually, no, they're just going to have to roll with it.
Engine damage.
Yeah, that's a shame there for the 21 of Oberstadt.
So pole position, unfortunately. Oh wow, we got another guy starting on pit road. So already
go on.
7 weeks and a lot of these engines a little bit on the sour side. So Trevor Vaden inherits the front row here and gets to lead the first lap.
I was just going to say, wasting no time taking over that lead. Got 3 wide for 5th.
Yeah, it's just a little bit on the 10 frame per second side here as we're struggling to get started, but I think we can get things sorted here pretty quickly. I'm going to go ahead and unplug my Stream Deck, and hopefully that ups the frame rate a little bit. So no fancy camera angles today.
Oh, and we got a caution already, too.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Looks like... Wow, that was an uncharacteristic wreck there. That was weird.
Yeah, it looks like somebody got loose on the bottom a little bit, and then just cleaned out everybody else. Oh, no. The 09 of Kinsella is coming out of the pits there.
Oh, there, yep.
Collect everybody. Yeah, if you want to go back just a tear and maybe do an onboard there, that might be a good idea to get us a better picture. Yep, just comes up and drives right into the side of the 11 there. Well, I guess that's one way to cause a caution.
He'd already went
yeah,
a few laps down.
He wasn't up to speed, and he got the boot from whoever that was behind him. Yeah, the Home Depot car.
And so we do have double file restarts enabled here. I've figured out I can use better cautions for a few things on the short tracks without causing monumental crashes. So the only thing is it's not going to send any drivers that are lapped down to the back. And that's usually the glitch that puts last dagger in the coffin is sending the drivers to the back on short tracks freaks the game out. So we will get double file restarts, and as long as we don't have too much lap traffic, it's pretty much going to be a standard double file restart throughout the field. So yeah, Taylor Courting, she's making her ARCA debut here, Sigma Series, and she's been lighting it up in the Sigma Modified Series.
She's had a pretty decent season so far. Racked off a couple wins. Last I checked, I'm pretty sure she's fighting for the championship, but I think it's tighter. But overall, she's had a pretty solid season. Had a DNF last week, but those things happen.
Right. Now it's going to be interesting. I know it's more the grassroots, the grassroots scene, so not a lot of television time, but definitely getting her first airing on YouTube here in the Sigma ARCA series is going to help, get her within the same echelon as her brothers Tim and Tom.
Well, I'd say she qualified pretty well. She was just outside the top 10, I believe, in qualifying.
And running mid-pack so far.
Couple feet back, and probably would have got caught up in that caution. Might have been the 11 car in that situation, but luckily not the case.
We can do some more intel here on the point standings while we're under caution. Trevor Vaden sits second in the points for this ARCA series. And honestly, Trevor Vaden, he has had quite the year so far. He is lighting it up in the truck series. He's putting on quite the show here in ARCA and could become one of our first drivers to really go for the double. We have not seen anyone win simultaneous championships in a season, and so I mean, you could vouch for the Courting brothers. They're right on the edge.
They've tried multiple times now to try to steal that away. that honor away and have had very bad luck at it.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I want to say last year Tim was pretty. It was either Tim or Tom that was decently close to fighting for the Cup championship. So, I mean, luck just does not roll their way sometimes.
Right. So yeah, Trevor Vaden with just 6 races left in this ARCA series, and who knows what's going to happen in the truck series. Ooh, I hope the game does not glitch.
No, it'll fix them as soon as they go green. But that 18 car is probably going to have some damage. Yeah, you can kind of see it in the fender.
All right, we're back and rolling here at Evergreen.
I'd keep a good eye on that 09 car and what their speed is compared to the others.
Looks like he's driving away from the leaders. That's crazy.
Clean air.
Chris Kagreen takes the lead here away from Trevor Vaden.
Vaden honestly looks like he's struggling a little bit with that car. I am wondering if he didn't get a little bit of left front damage there.
Well, and honestly, getting stuck up on the high side for a restart is not desirable. So he's going to have to find an opening and take that inside as soon as possible to start fighting back to the front.
And right there's his opening. No, I think that's why he was fighting so hard with the 09, because he's like, this is my spot. What are you doing?
Well, we're lucky that tonight is on a short track, because if we were on a road course, this game probably would have crashed by now, but we're faring just fine. And Chris Kagreen off to a lead. He is not yet won in the ARCA series, so he's looking to try and secure what could potentially be his first win in the ARCA series. .32 of James Gunner has had a rough ARCA campaign this year. Currently sits 12th in the points, 0 wins, but if he could start racking up some good finishes here, he could start working his way up into the top 10, maybe even the top 5 in the points. But in all honesty, the top 3 stars of our ARCA campaign has been Trevor Vaden there in the 18. We're going to have to look a few spots back to find Wyatt Wilkinson, who is currently our points leader. And then the 77 of Ace Blake, who I think is a little bit deeper in the field here. Taylor Cording making some moves here, moving through up into the top 15 now. There's the 77 of Ace Vaden running about 20 seconds, so a little bit on the rough side here tonight. He's going to have to capitalize on the last few races of the season if he wants to get back into the battle for the championship. And then, of course, Chris Kagreen in the 10 car. Let's see where he is in the points. .13th, so also with an opportunity getting up at the front, leading laps, and potentially racking up wins could help him get into the mix as well. It's going to be harder, though, once you're outside about the top 5. Getting into championship contention here is going to be much harder.
Well, and there is one person in that top, just outside that top 5, that that engine issue is not going to help them with their chances of fighting for this championship.
Yeah, Ralph Oberstadt, is that who you're mentioning?
Yeah, that is exactly who I'm mentioning. Ralph Oberstadt with that engine issue, starting on pole, sitting 7th in the championship, just outside the top 5. Yeah, having that blown engine and not getting a chance to fight for any points here is definitely gonna hamper that championship fight.
Well, and if you look at the schedule that we have left to go, our ARCA series will hit Daytona next, which is a great wild card. Bristol, Portland, Atlanta, and then we close it all out at Five Flags Speedway, which that'll be a fun one to watch. 200 laps at Five Flags. And I know the schedule marks it at October 2nd, but we might even push that race back a week or two so we can get it all sealed up in September here. So there's not another 3-week break in the ARCA series. But after Evergreen tonight, we will have Daytona in 2 weeks. Bristol will follow in 3, Portland in 4, Atlanta in 5. So good 5 weeks of racing with four stops on the way. And really a lot up for grabs.
Yeah, lots of points still left on the table, even with so few races left in the championship. I mean, anything can happen. Any one of these, even our championship leader could have an engine problem right now, and that could severely hamper their defense of their lead. But I do want to bring a little attention because I have been paying attention to the standings. You may want to take a peek at who's just inside the top 10 there.
Nice. Looks like we got another caution too.
Yep. Oh, the 6 of Matthew Hubert.
And Hubert was running at the very back of the field here in 30th. Ooh, he just run.
Oh, yeah. I don't. Ooh. Wow. He slid for quite a ways there.
Ended up on his roof and down to pit road. Man, that's quite the view of the underside of one of these cars.
Yeah. I really don't think that was intentional. I think he just overshot and wasn't braking enough to try to avoid it. But looks like he's on his way out as everybody's on their way in.
And it looks like a mass entry onto pit road here as everyone comes down pit road. Somehow James Gunner ended up with the lead. Wow, he passed Chris Kagreen.
Outside, just as the caution came out. Yep, just as the caution came out too. If you whoa. Watch the right.
Wow. That's quite the move.
Just as he took, as they got the yellow there.
Now it looks like Kagreen beat him off pit road though. Let's see who's all lapped down. We might as well DQ the 09 under caution here as the double file restarts will get kind of wonky with the lap traffic on the inside. We'll allow the number 6 to restart this time and give him an opportunity to try and get his lap back just like the 09. But the 09 still managed to drop another lap down, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the 09 was like a medium hazard. Like they had some speed, but it almost felt like it was just wasn't enough. It was almost like as soon as they fell to the back, we were gonna see them really fast again.
And actually, I'm going to go ahead and minimize the pace lap by 1 here so that we're
I
not...
wouldn't hit enter on... Never mind. I was going to say I wouldn't hit enter on that just yet until they cross the line, but...
Or we're good. It on a short track it does 5 laps, which is just a
okay.
tad too much.
Oh, no. The 6. The 6 just got towed away from the end of pit lane there.
Nope, I think the game just did a...
Oh, okay. It looked like he stopped and then got towed away. I was like, oh no.
We're riding a very fine line with my computer here. I think the next thing will be buying a new computer for me that can stream a little bit cleaner.
We'll just get you another like 4 terabyte hard drive to just, you know, plug in through a USB port. It's fine.
Alrighty, so Chris K. Green resets with the lead here. It's going to be interesting to see what he's got. 32, I think, is going to drop to the inside here, take the inside line. That's what's kind of wonky. The game thinks, the leader thinks, oh yeah, I'm going to take the inside, but there's lap traffic there. So as long as we don't have a car get stuck inside of each other, which that happens once in a while with these glitches, that the game forgets that collision is a factor. There we go. James Gunner off to the inside of the 10 here. And like you mentioned, the 79, oh, she's roughing some feathers up back there. 3 wide? Nope, that's the 78. She's in the middle of another 3 wide sandwich just behind. But she's working her way through it pretty cleanly here.
Yeah, and there goes the 01 car. That's the, I believe, if memory serves me correct, that was the car that earlier, prior to a driver for the rest of the season being found for that ride, that was the intended ride for Taylor Cording to start her
right
debut this evening.
There was some slight hiccups in the system, and yeah, the 01 actually is Sophie Harwick. They got Sophie in, and Taylor was able to find a seat with a very familiar team owner. The Cording brothers have raced a lot for in Mr. DeBlank's stables.
Yeah, the Cording brothers and Brian DeBlank have been good friends for years, so definitely feels right for her to be making her debut tonight with that team, and definitely making a heck of a start at it.
Oofty, ouch. Chris K. Green went from leading on the restart all the way back to 7th now.
He needs to be able to get off that high side, which looking at that train coming on the left side there, I don't think he's going to get a chance.
So now we've got our 3-car breakaway here between the 32 of James Gunner, the 18 of Trevor Vaden, and the 66 of Kaylee Sheets.
Honestly, I like what I'm seeing here in the ARCA series. This is my first race watching this ARCA series run, and I am loving what I'm seeing. I've seen people go from all the way at the tail end from where they qualified at the back to managing to find their way to like the mid pack to like somehow finding a way to get up here to the top 5 too.
It has been exciting because I think it's crazy how we've seen some odd trends develop throughout the ARCA series this year. Um, Casey Klein has gotten a handful of pole positions but has never won. And it seems like every time he's on pole position, he ends up getting DNF with either mechanical failure or something out of his control. So it really is the great wild card in our Sigma series. And I'm proud to say that this is the first series to fully take the Sigma banner and wave, fly with it, roll with it all the way. Got to give credit to Andrew Moger that he put the desire and the motivation into getting this ARCA series rolling, and I appreciate everything Moger did in getting the initial ARCA series on board. What we've got here today, a lot of the paint schemes, a lot of the drivers. This is where it initially started on Moger's development, so I just kind of wanted to revive it and see it through. It felt necessary that we needed to get this series back and going and give it a proper inaugural season. So this true inaugural season is 18 races long, and we're going to see that evolve into a 25 race campaign next year, 26 to be exact. The reasoning behind the 26 is that it is truly half of a full year if you do it on a weekly basis. So out of a 52-week year, we've got 26 weeks dedicated to ARCA racing, and it'll truly be more so on a bi-weekly basis with a big stretch. I'm thinking we'll still the schedule is getting the kinks worked out, but we might have a long stretch in maybe August or maybe honestly at the start of the season. I know for a fact during the summertime a lot of people aren't able to sit down and follow the races, so maybe the best bet would be to try and capitalize on the winter season and go strong there and then go bi-weekly towards the summer half of the year.
I'm liking the sounds of that. I'm liking the sounds of that plan.
Huge shout out to everyone too. Thanks for getting all your paint schemes in for the Music Fest Grand Prix. That's going to be a big event for the channel.
Yeah, that'll be really exciting. I'm actually really excited for that. That'll be really fun to broadcast. That's gonna be a long day for us.
Friday we got some heat racing, and then Saturday we'll have the main event. Yeah, it's gonna be. I think for the first time, I would say that people may actually be marking their calendars. Would you say?
Oh yeah. I mean, we brought. Apologies, I seem to have disconnected there. What I was saying was, we've managed to bring in a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds, so to speak, to come enjoy our group we've built over here. So it's fun to see how many different people from different like servers and situations we've met. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I agree. It's beginning to get bigger and bigger, and yeah, the first one was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 237 in Cleveland. So this is the second annual. It's just a name change to try and separate, from more corporation driven title sponsors, so that maybe we can kind of stand on our own feet here. And yeah, the Music Fest Grand Prix, which I haven't gone and got it, soft marked or anything, but it would be an idea. I could probably try to go for something like that if it gets big enough, to make it, into something more than we've ever imagined. So 75 entries is nothing to scoff at.
Oh, heck no. I didn't even realize it was up to 75. Wow.
My ambitions were trying to lead me to 100, but I was pleasantly okay at 75. I knew I had much more than I could bite off much more than I could chew than I bit off. And 75, we've gotten 73, 72 or so of those 75 paint schemes already finalized. And in the meantime, I'm going to be working on getting spotter package, a fan vote, all this stuff put together so that we can have a truly spectacular event.
And Jacob, in that vein, what's your top 5 that you haven't painted?
Of the top 5 that I have not touched, I haven't painted myself.
For the Music City Grand Prix, what's your top 5 right now that's not you painted?
I would have to put the top 5 as so. So, I'll go ahead and start off with number 5. And I think the fifth one would have to be the number 99 Rick Astley car that Chaz Chadwick painted, or in other words, Vinewood Undead. It just it kind of captures that moment back in the day when Rick rolling was the thing, and number 5 would definitely be that number 99 car. Number 4, another one from Chaz Chadwick, the Prince car. It really looks like a T-shirt that you would buy with Prince. I don't know if you've seen that one or remember what it looks like.
I have not seen that one, but I'm gonna have to go see that one.
I've seen so many T-shirts. It looks like someone took the T-shirt and turned it into a race car. Number 3, I would give a shout out if Tasha's watching right now. That number 30 car for the ink spots. It looks so retro, kind of old school, and it gives me the vision of ink when I look at it. And I'm sure that was the angle taken there to try and make it look like an ink spot for the most part.
Yeah. Heck yeah, she was excited to paint that. So
it looks.
I'm not sure if she's actually watching or not, but I'll have to show her this back again if she wasn't. So.
It looks slick. I've actually showed it to some of my coworkers, and they thought that one stood out from the ones I was showing them. So, mad credit there for Tasha on building that number 30 machine. Number 2, let's see, the top 2 of the ones I didn't paint. Oh, yeah, I got to give number 1. I know where number 1 lies. Number 2, give credit to Braden Varga for putting together his number 9 machine for Buzz 72 Plus. It's just a solid looking car. I didn't know anything about the band or the artist, so it's different and it's cool and I like it. Simple and clean, and I think it'll be hard to miss on the racetrack come October. But overall, number 1 belongs to the number 54 car, painted by Cooper Dwight in our series. He was tasked with building a snail house car for Ace Blake. Aw, the game actually crashed. Damn it.
Oh, no.
Unless
Hold on. Huh.
I'm not seeing any.
We're not even halfway.
Yeah, that number 54 car is the nicest looking car I've seen. Cooper Dwight did a great job on it.
Oh, looks like Tasha is here.
Shoot. Oh, we got it.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my gosh.
NR said thank you. Thank you for understanding that I am 20-some years old. It takes me a minute, all right? Sometimes I just need a hiccup.
That made me
That made me nervous.
uncomfortable.
That made me very uncomfortable. Yeah. I didn't like that. I would have preferred if we would have came back and they would have been like, oh yeah, there was a massive caution with like 8 cars.
We're just short of halfway, but
I know. I'm watching those laps now because at least we have the ticker to kind of like piece together the lineup,
right?
To make up something for being like, we got to halfway. The rain came in.
For a while there, I thought that 18 car was catching Gunner, but Gunner's starting to stretch it out here.
I think Gunner was just kind of rolling it for a little bit there. I think he's trying not to catch the back of the pack. I don't think he wants to deal with this lap traffic. The majority of the people in the back at this point are pretty torn up.
Yeah, so yeah, it's going to come down to that, I think. If we're getting now to lap 75, we're oh so close to halfway. And
if the game's going to be blinking like that, we might want to keep an eye out for that halfway point.
James Gunner has not yet won here in the ARCA series, so this would come as a surprise to quite a few people if he's able to pull it off.
I don't know when K Green said it, but I do want to point out that K Green does have the fastest lap of the race right now.
Yeah, he unfortunately paid the ultimate price here, getting dropped all the way back. He's outside the top 10 even, so he fell back, fighting with Taylor Courting there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I was watching the ticker here. It looks like fighting with Taylor Courting, and looks like Taylor lost about 3 spots there on the pit stops, or at least by now has only lost 3 spots. I don't know where 4. I don't know where she came out after the pit stops there, but.
So as it stands, Wyatt Wilkinson trying to minimize the bleeding on the point standing with Trevor Vaden running towards the front of the field here. Vaden in 2nd place, Wyatt Wilkinson in 9th. That could very well swing things in the favor of Trevor Vaden, is he's only 27 points back of Wyatt Wilkinson. Yeah, and I know you might need some catcher-uppers that the ARCA series has not been on. It's just it's crazy how many different winners and crazy how inconsistent some of these drivers have been.
Well, And I think that's a product of because I'm a part of another community that does a similar kind of like under series that's
Mm,
kind of like I don't want to say stock or like even. I guess it's kind of like a spec series almost.
right, it is, and it is a
Um,
lot of that.
and the racing is very like very interesting because some drivers got it, some drivers don't.
Well,
And
and
then
it
it's just such a roll of the dice on what's actually going to happen.
it really does capture the spirit of ARCA, the way this plays out each week, if you think about it.
Oh, absolutely.
Because so many times you see these bonehead mistakes made in an ARCA race because drivers, it comes the term ARCA brakes that everyone hears thrown around all the time. Um, it's just one of those things. These are rookies. These are drivers that don't have a bunch of seat time, and they're trying to work their way up the ladder into the bigger series. Our Sigma Bridge to Cup, our Sigma Truck Series, a lot of these drivers actually race in the Sigma Truck Series, and they're struggling. I mean, this is their heyday right now. The likes of, well, a bad example right now, obviously, is James Gunner and Trevor Vaden, who have both won races in the USA Truck Series. But if you look a little bit further back, Wyatt Wilkinson, he's struggling in the Truck Series, and I think that just shows you that next step on the ladder is a huge swing. This ARCA series, obviously entry level, but that Truck Series, even for Wyatt Wilkinson, he's had a lot of trouble and hasn't put the pieces together yet, even in the Truck Series. So it's definitely nice to see this much diversity in our talent, and it's going to be a matter of time before Wyatt Wilkinson is a household name in Sigma racing. I think Al Bunch is making comment about Taylor Courting being quote unquote the youngest driver in Sigma history. I think that goes to show you even most of our talented drivers throughout the ladder has not been racing in this series at 16.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what I was going for tonight. Was kind of set the tone for like more development stuff. Like, I guess now's kind of a good time to elaborate on what the Sigma Modified Tour actually is, huh?
Well, and I think I keep getting my facts all mixed up. How old is Taylor? Is it 14, 15, or 16?
She is 16. She's 16 years old as of last month
Okay. Yep, so she just
in
barely
Canada.
gets her driver's permit and is running in the ARCA series. So,
Yep. But so what I'm trying to establish here is, I know. Can I kind of go into detail, or you want me to kind of chill out on the facts?
nope, go ahead and drop the
Okay.
details.
So what I'm kind of hoping for is a lot of us don't necessarily have time to put on a big show like Jacob here does every week and every day almost at this point for him. But we still want to contribute a series of some kind, and maybe you don't really want to have to deal with all the paint scheme stuff necessarily. Maybe you just want to go find your favorite mod, find you some paint schemes, and grab a roster of drivers and go. In the background, um, it's more so in the background that there won't really be any live streams of it. There might be like a few races on the schedule that I pick out personally that I'm like, these are the bigger series events.
And we could do like some share screens and stuff.
Yeah, and that might even have some of the bigger races that are actually like recorded and streamed here on YouTube will have like drivers from the Truck Series or Cup or something making appearances because it's a bigger event. Kind of like how you see like Kevin Harvick and Dale Jr. show up at the Cars Tour. I mean, I know they have ownership stake over there now, but even still, Jr. used to show up there before that.
That'd be so cool to have our own Snowball Derby 2025.
Exactly. Except in this case, because we're a little unique over here, we're going modified racing. So, if anybody was part of my stuff before, it's gonna be kind of like my late models and modifieds before. We're gonna use an asphalt mod, but we will be doing some dirt action because it's fun, and that's what we're trying to promote a little bit over here. But yeah, I'm trying to promote a bit of an initiative where maybe we have a sports car series that's running in the background or something that not really people pay attention to. Where like we have people that come in and out of the Discord all the time, where it's like they'll come in for 6 months and then go, I've had my fun, I'm out. It'd be nice to be able to move their driver somewhere where if they choose to come back, their driver's been doing something.
I dig that. I dig that 1000%, because I mean, even some of these guys that join the server and disappear, you never know, they might come back, they might see the YouTube channel and get a notification. It's like, oh wow, I was part of the series and stuff.
Exactly. It's fun to, like, if you miss the video, it's still fun to get that tag of, oh, hey, XYZ, your driver won. Wait, my driver won? Oh, cool, my driver won. I didn't even know I was in anything right now. Oh yeah, we have this background stuff going on.
Yeah.
Even if you're not active, your driver is still like actively doing things.
It's funny, I actually have a story about that with Spin'em Walker. He hadn't been following the series, and he was still part of the Discord, but apparently was watching the stream still, and found out that his driver ended up winning a race. And it was during the month of May where we had basically awards going throughout the month of May for every driver that got a win. Well, he ended up, I think, losing his other Discord account because he created a new Discord and reached out to me. He's like, hey, give me my free reward for winning in the month of May. And I was like, dude, it actually reached out. It actually worked. So,
well, I mean, I feel like this is a great time to mention you are at 3,000 subscribers, Jacob. How do you feel?
I think my cat should take the credit for that. I still don't know how to grasp that. I have 3,012 subscribers, it looks like. And it was all 2.6 thousand on my cat chasing a bunny rabbit. So, I'm hoping some of those 2,600 people are tuning into the races once in a while to see what else the server has to offer. They clearly subscribe to a channel when they check the main page that says this is a channel all about racing. So clearly 2,600 of them like cats and they like motorsports. So
come for the cute cat, stay for the motorsports, folks.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I thought it was unachievable myself, but here we are.
I hate to put it out into the ethos, by the way, we are past halfway here. I hate to put it out into the ethos, but we are past halfway.
Hey, we've been treated some good racing here. Not a lot of wrecks towards the later half of the race, at least, so...
Well, and things are about to get interesting because we are catching lap traffic and our leaders are still fighting for first place here. And to answer Al Bunch's question, I'm not really sure yet, to be honest. I haven't really thought much of it. I did just download a mod before Jacob and I got started here. It's a newer asphalt modified mod. But he and I will be checking it out later this evening after this. So.
But I do think your idea, I don't know if it's exactly the idea that you envisioned, but for all the drivers and all the people that leave our server, we'll just throw them into the modified series. Does that work?
And honestly, I think that's kind of what I might have us do for the first season, is maybe sit down with us and a few of the mods and think up maybe 20, 30 drivers that haven't been here.
And just kind of keep them waiting in the bullpen, basically,
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah. And if I'll say this, right now, since it's essentially going to be like the just Hold'em series, if people want to enter a driver that are active, that's fine.
Oh, by all means, that would be
By all
ideal.
means, enter a driver, because the way I'm seeing this series, the age range of drivers is somewhere between 13 to 15 if you're aiming to do like development before they come up into ARCA and or whatever else. But if you want to have an older driver that's just like a veteran of modified racing, then I don't care. That's all you, honestly.
But yeah, that kind of opened my eyes to one of the downfalls that I'm facing right now is when we do have departures, it kind of leaves us in a little bit of a tizzy once we have to figure out, okay, so Gavin Legend leaves the server. He's a cup driver. What does that do for our cup series when we have a high tier, caliber cup series ride that just becomes available out of nowhere?
Right, and I guess what the point I'm trying to get us to is where, oh no, that seat up there at the Cup Series opens. Okay, so is it a top tier ride? Is it a mid tier ride, or is it a like he's not really been performing all that well anyways, but the car's not that great anyways either? Because that kind of depends on where you're grabbing a driver from and what caliber of driver you're grabbing to fill that slot. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's kind of the point I kind of like to help us get to, is where it's like, oh, a top tier spot in Cup opened up, so we're gonna look down to Bridge to Cup, or the like younger of the best truck people, and go, who should get a chance to come up here and have a shot, or whatever.
Yeah. Yep. No, I think honestly though, I've never felt.
If we were hold on, Albunch, if we were still doing like actual like real world sponsor names, absolutely I would dig that name. I love me some Texas Roadhouse, all right?
But yeah, no, I think honestly it would be nice to have a holding, at least for the next year, maybe a couple years. We'll see where it pans out.
Well, and maybe that's part of it, is they stay there for a year or so, and then if they're not there, if they don't come back by the end of the championship, if their driver underperformed, then maybe they get dropped for somebody else that's left more recently. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and
Maybe
I know
that's
for
the yearly thing of, okay, who's been like inactive and not come back, and who's been like recently left that needs to fall down there, because there's a chance they might still come back. Also, I do want to note, looks like we're getting pit stops here, so
yeah, no, it's this race is starting to get a little bit chaotic. No, I could give you a full roster in the next day or two of. Ooh, we're getting a potential fight for the lead here as Vaden gets alongside The 32. We go from nearly losing this race, and now we are closing in on just about 40 laps to go. And pit stops are really going to change up this outcome here today. Looks like we're going to be down to, as they run, 20 cars on the lead lap. Yeah, the nice part is I could look back at the point standings, and a lot of those drivers that have since left the series will be towards the back half of the points tally. And yeah, we'll probably have at least a good 20 to 25 drivers eligible to fill in the roster for, and if you wanted to, you could probably even expand it to 40.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And it might even come down if we end up, honestly, next month or two, I might have you build up a roster, and maybe I'll split it into a regional thing. Maybe there's 2 regions of it, just with like maybe 1 to 2 races a month or something.
And at least then you can kind of have familiar names fighting it out, and
Right.
on the server, if people come back, they can look, oh wow, my guy's actually tearing it up on the grassroots level.
Well, and like, I don't know if anybody remembers it, but I remember when they used to, I think it was like 2-3 years, they did the Battle of the Bay at Daytona, where it was legitimately East Coast versus West Coast K&N event. Or it was like late model stuff. No, yeah, it was East and West K&N series came together on the back stretch of Daytona for Battle by the Bay. And it was like a points paying event for both sides, but your points only contributed to the one side or something. I don't remember it completely, but it was something like that.
Kind of sounds familiar. They would use the back half of
it. Yeah, it was like the chicane. They would use like the chicane on the backstretch.
Yep. Well, our leaders now coming down pit road. This is going to be the pivotal moment of the race here at Evergreen, as we're down to 40 laps to go. And coming out with that proverbial lead will be James Gunner, as he stretches it out on the 18. Actually, with pit stops, able to stretch it out a little bit further on Trevor Vaden. Dude, I'm actually quite astonished we haven't seen another caution throughout the latter half of this race. No way. Actually, Kaylee Sheets comes out with the lead. Holy cow. I totally missed that.
After all of our excitement, if you could peep the chat at what I just said. After all of our excitement, once things cool down. Completely irrelevant right now, because we've got one heck of a fight an exciting moment on our hands, because we're at the end of pit stops now.
Sorry, Chaz. It's just the I think sharing screen. I have not figured out a ideal way to share screen, have someone in the booth, and have the race actually run clean. It's definitely not ideal, but it's it's making it. It's surviving. Like the Bee Gees, we're staying alive. At least I assume our voices are not coming through all choppy like.
Yeah, I don't think so, but
Yeah, no, our voice chat's fine. But it's, yeah, the racing itself is at about 10 frames per second, which is far from ideal, and I apologize. Maybe need to have a GoFundMe page to get a new computer. But this could be a huge upset if Kaylee Sheets finds her way to victory lane here today. What's the update on Taylor courting? Have you seen?
I have not yet. I've been watching the lineups, but I have not seen her throughout the thing yet.
Ooh, impressively, Ace Blake starting to move back up through the field here, up to 12th. Taylor, 14th. Kovacic, 15th. Chris Kagreen went from leading dominantly here today, falling all the way back to 17th. Let's just count our lucky stars that the game actually has not committed seppuku yet. Because it feels like the game could have committed seppuku at least 10 times now. We're down to 29 laps to go, and Kaylee Sheets leading the way pretty solidly over the 32 of James Gunner.
Yeah, honestly, been solid racing so far throughout the whole field, honestly.
NR wants to put itself out of its misery. More like my computer, I think, wants to put itself out of its misery. It's kind of baking. I have two fans pointed directly at my computer, my laptop, to be especially specific. But at least through the hazy view that we've got of this race, we might actually have a surprise winner here tonight.
Smoke?
Oh, there is a caution. Dang.
I didn't say anything, but I willed that into existence. I want that known.
Oh, no.
I was just sitting here thinking, I kind of want us to throw a caution with 25 laps to go.
This
Just
is
for the excitement factor.
gonna.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I willed that into existence. I've been thinking that for like 4 laps now.
Oh, Craig Bush, he is a competitor in the championship. Craig Bush from 6th place suffers a mechanical failure here. As NR says, 95% damage to the engine. That is going to be critical chronicle damage to that number 15 engine. And it's going to upset quite a few apple carts here tonight. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to wave around as many people as possible that we don't have any bizarre happenings. 23. The tough part is I think I got to wait at least a lap. If anyone comes down pit road. Because I don't want to wave anyone around the pace car and give them the lead magically. And it doesn't look like anyone's going to pit because I think we're going to have everyone pretty much safe to go all the way to the finish without pit stops now. So I think if I wave around the 24, it's simply just giving them the wave around the pace car and not giving them the overall lead. I'm going to wave the 01. Just like that, the 32 of James Gunner with the lead. What the heck happened there?
This is gonna get spicy.
Dude, what the heck happened? How did the 66 fall out from the lead? Did she...
Did she maybe get caught up in the... Yep, maybe.
So she goes low here. I feel like I need to actually pause the game right now. Because there's some shenanigans at hand here.
Oh, right there. Right there. Back it up, back it up, back it up. Right there.
Yeah, she's
spots right there.
Stuck behind the 43, but the caution had already come out.
Race back to the line.
I think the caution came out, so we might have to actually rule. We might actually have to use our own rule of judgment here and send some folks to the back of the line. When does the caution actually come out? Right there. So, by the rule, she takes the lead here. The 4 drivers in front of her needs to get sent back to the end of the line. Because as things stand, it puts her all the way back to 5th, and that is not correct. And I will actually go in, and some of these things get kind of wonky with these short tracks. I wonder what happens. I should maybe unpause it, but I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it'll go through. I don't think it'll go through if you...
Let's try it first. Number 32. Operation aborted. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You have the game.
Pause. Okay. God dang it. I need to know. Okay. Dang it.
If you... Hold on. If you hit play and have it set up so and scroll up, as soon as you get into the screen, I can tell you who the cars are in front of the 66.
Okay.
There's only 4 of them. You just got to be fast about typing. And you just scroll up first.
Yeah, so that's an illegal move on the rest of these guys.
18.
That's going to be hard for some of these folks. that actually need these points to fight for the championship. But sometimes it's not fair how officiating works here. So, okay.
Yeah, no, those guys should have just fallen in line. I don't know what they were doing.
This is definitely a first in our Sigma series.
Yeah. I don't know why. I got a feeling we're gonna get some flack for this one, but I got a feeling our Sigma racing officials are gonna get some flack for this call here.
"20 laps to go."
I'm gonna say, oh, no wave for the 4.
Well, that changes everything in this race.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, lights are off on the pace car. Man, we timed that perfectly.
Yeah, we did.
So if y'all haven't tuned in yet, I don't know where you're at, but if you have tuned in, you might be witnessing one of the most craziest setups for a finish here tonight. And so Kaylee Sheets.
Yeah, top execs at Sigma Racing have made the call. They don't know. I don't know what the hell those other guys were doing, but they can have a nice EOL for that one.
Yeah, so this changes everything, and that actually changes a lot for the point standings. Trevor Vaden is gonna get hurt the most out of this, as he was competing for a win here tonight.
I need you to look at just who's inside the top 10 here. Literally sitting 10th right now.
Is it Taylor Courting?
It is, with a wide open door to the bottom too.
I'm simply just gonna let the race play out. I ain't gonna enable green-white checkers, as I don't know if that would be sustainable for this race, as the game is.
I was gonna say I'd be worried this thing's gonna crash if you do that. If you tab out like that.
But we've got just about 17 laps to go here, and Kaylee Sheets takes back over the dominant lead here. Might actually have to see how the 18 is faring at the back of the field.
Not well.
He's going to be trying to charge through the field like a bull in a china closet. But in the meantime, Kaylee Sheets holds the lead over Joseph Hayes, one of our most recent new winners in the ARCA series. Hayes' last lap was a 20.8. Compare that up to Kaylee and her 20.9. So she's got some heat behind her here.
We got a new fastest lap too, by Wyatt Wilkinson. Or
Dude, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Wilkinson, our points leader, trying to take advantage of the misfortune of his competitors here and capitalize on the gains.
I do want to make a note that Taylor has made her way up to 8th.
Wow, Kovacic, that's a huge. Wow, Taylor up to 7th. Even Wyatt Wilkinson dropping backwards here. Ace Blake starting to gain some points in the championship battle. Wyatt Wilkinson all the way back to 12th as they run. So this race has totally flip-flopped here.
It'll be interesting to see with Taylor potentially starting the end of this season off like this, if she can make it to Kovacic, who was in that car before her.
Yeah, right? Yeah, 5th now. She's up to 6th. Or actually, I
Or,
miscounted
sorry,
there.
Chavot, correction.
Yeah, Chavot.
Because Chavot only has 301 points from the looks of things. Yeah, 301. Currently sitting
Oh no,
25th
there's
in points.
another caution.
Another caution. Oh, that one's
Oh,
huge. These boys and girls were pushing through the field hard. That was to be expected.
3 wide. James Gunner pushing the envelope here. He had been at the front leading so many laps here today, but oh boy.
That 9 car did not deserve that. Not in the slightest. Just an innocent bystander getting doored.
I think that goes to show you just how strong that 32 car was to try and charge through the field as hard as he did here, but to ultimately take out 2 more cars, 3 more cars in the chaos.
I do want to say, once they all get settled
Oh
out.
no!
Oh no!
Trevor
I see we have more
Vaden.
to break down. Go check and see if they're all lined up first, real quick.
Yeah, we can't do too much replays here.
Well, I was going to say what we should do if they're all lined up is go ahead and go pause us for a
Yep,
second.
we'll do that again because there's a
Because
lot.
there's a lot to break down here, and that also gives us a good chance to, at the end of looking at replays, try to safely pull up the better cautions.
You
to
think
enable
you think we want to try to do a green-white checkers?
the game is usually safe to do it if you're paused. If you're paused, it's usually safe. So, yep.
Well, we're gonna have green-white checkers here tonight. It's gonna be a good old-fashioned short track fiasco here.
But first, let's break it down.
So, Trevor Vaden, second in the points right now, trying to hunt down Wyatt Wilkinson. And unfortunately, after all the carnage, he gets tangled up with the 43. And
Almost looks like the 27 gave the 4 one heck of a shot on exit there.
They just got all bunched up here going through the turn. 18 nowhere to go. It's one of those short track racing things. I mean, the crazy part is 2 of our top 3 guys that had been leading all the laps here today are now out of the race. It looks like basically like a demo derby here on pit road.
You gotta imagine for those guys that were fighting their way back forward, they're kicking themselves right now.
Well, and it's just one of those things. It's like you make a mistake and you end up at the back of the field with the squirrels and you eat your nuts crushed.
Absolutely. I mean, they were cutting through the field like the field should move. And the rest of the field said, "No, we're not going to move because why the hell would we do that?" And all they won for their, I guess, so to speak, stupid game was a very dumb prize with 9 to go here. Probably coming to like 5 to go on the restart, roughly.
Looks like the 16 is going to maintain the lead lap here. After tonight, there'll only be 5 races left in the ARCA campaign. So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, this could be a pivotal moment in this ARCA season, just alone. That these guys, it's going to be make or break here tonight, whether or not this makes a huge difference.
Jacob, I want to point out that Taylor has an even better restart position than the last time. This time she's actually going to be on the inside.
Wow, up to 7th.
I think the Courting brothers may be going out for drinks with their good old buddy Brian after tonight. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, no, they found a good racer there in Taylor. She's gonna be working her way up the ladder here, pretty short order.
I mean, yeah, she's had a lot of luck roll her way at the end here, but she's definitely proven she can cut it here in the ARCA series. Even on the long green flag runs, she was making her moves towards the front. So,
well, and now we've got Chris K. Green back in the mix as he's up to 8th. Ace Blake really trying to make the best out of a terrible day. That 77 car is actually outpointing both of his competitors in the championship battle. So Ace Blake takes the long road here today and might actually beat his competitors in the championship battle and be back in the mix. Wyatt Wilkinson just a couple spots back in 11th, your points leader, but you wouldn't know it by the way he's sitting 11th on field. Looks like we're going to have about 25 cars left running. Lights should be out on the pace car. We're going to get set up for a restart with 5 laps to go. And forget about this very no good stuttery stream quality that we have here tonight. This race is going to be one for the record books to remember.
here we go.
Kaylee proved that she could restart on the inside and not give up much ground to the outside.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say she did it on the initial start, but no, she started on the outside on the initial start, didn't she?
Yeah. No, this last restart, though, she started on the inside and pretty much secured that lead within a lap. So it'll be 5 laps for Sheets and anyone else on the field here trying to get a win tonight. Kaylee does have Skylar. She's got woman power on the inside there. Skylar Taylor, she's hoping to get a good finish here tonight. She's not yet seen victory lane. And so now we're going to keep our eyes out there on the lights to make sure that this race stays green in the closing laps, as we're going to be down to just 3 laps to go this time by.
You might want to roll back just a little. We might have an interesting fight for the top 4.
We'll keep it on the front for now. I don't want to miss a moment. We've got a 1-2 knockout from the females here. Women showing it how it's done. Finley Herwig is somehow, oh wow, could you imagine that? A 1-2-3 podium if Taylor's able to get up to 3rd here.
That's what I was trying to grab your attention about, was that Taylor was fighting for that 4th position and now eating into that gap to 3rd.
That would be an ARCA first if we could get 1-2-3 out of the chicks. Finley might just be the turd in the punch bowl here today, though, as he's holding on to 3rd with the white flag waving. Kaylee Sheets coming around, takes the white flag, green flag still in the air.
Yeah, white flag this time now.
And the checkered flag in hand, Kaylee Sheets is going to secure her first win in the Sigma ARCA series. Just shy of an all-women podium, we get a 1-2-4 as the youngest of the courtings secures a top 5 here tonight. But there's going to be a party out there at Jesse Saturn Racing as JSR gets their first career win in all of Sigma Racing. This race just at 1 hour and 20 minutes. It's been a knockout, drag-out kind of race, hasn't it, James?
Absolutely been a. I'd say this is deserving of the label of barn burner. I don't. What do you think? Do you agree?
Yeah, Barn Burner 2024, the ARCA race of the potentially year. We still got a couple races left, but this one definitely took the cake as being one of those barn burners that we don't see very often. And I mean, it had a lot going for it. I mean, we had to actually step in and play officials and officiate this race when the game decided to get all weird and wonky on us. It took the lead away from our leader for no reason at all. I've seen some weird shit on short tracks, but that one definitely took the cake. So yeah, no, congratulations to Kaylee Sheets. That's gonna help her her climb up the ladder and get some recognition where it's due. That 66 car put on a great show here tonight and definitely earned that win with authority. $169 laps, and we now close the curtain on tonight's race. Man, must just be a good thing to be a courting in the family.
Yeah, it must be something in the blood. Doesn't matter if it's male or female. They got fire in those bones to go race.
It's going to be interesting to see what she's got in the tank for the last 5 races in this campaign. And honestly,
maybe if we put together a list of names fast enough, maybe I can put together a final 4 races championship or something.
yeah. Yeah, no, we're going to have to see how those points tally up here tonight. I'll get those posted on the server. But congrats again, Kaylee Sheets getting that first win. Also to all the women that kicked ass here in ARCA today. So we're going to be seeing what's left next for the last 5 races of this ARCA campaign, and I don't know who's in the mix now for the championship. It's getting exciting. So, any last words?
This should be a fun last 5 races of this championship to watch. I'm definitely going to be tuning in. This should be fun.
Yeah, no, and hopefully we can have you in a few more for the booth and whatnot, because definitely these ARCA races are something different. They are fun to watch and very unpredictable. So
feels like that's just the title of the year, honestly, for Sigma.
yeah. Yep. No, we had a photo finish and we've had some exciting races all throughout the year. So hopefully tomorrow knocking off the first race in the bracket championship for Bridge to Cup should be exciting. Hopefully those of you that tuned in tonight can catch that action tomorrow. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get this wrapped up so that we can get the points tallied for this ARCA series. Thanks again, James, for joining me on the booth call here tonight.
Joining as always, Jacob. It was a blast.
And
Always it feels like it's always a blast of a race whenever we're commentating together.
yeah, it's a good omen. Then I guess we might need to actually have you signed up to do as many as we can. So, but yeah, with that, everyone, hopefully y'all have a safe night. Thanks for staying up so late to catch this race, and until next time, we'll see you on the next stream. Stay safe out there. Have a good night. This is Jakester signing out.